Hello, guys, and welcome to another podcast here of SpoBits.com, a website which analyzes games tactically and statistically. So today we will be reviewing the 8 groups which has been drawn now in the FIFA 2018 World Cup in Russia. The draw took place an hour ago in Moscow, and we have the groups lined up now in the group stages. In the Group A, we have the host nation Russia, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Uruguay. It's an interesting group because Uruguay are a good tournament team. We all know that they have been pretty good in the last 2 World Cups. They generally perform well in the Copa America as well. Russia, being the host nation, they're not one of the greatest sides, footballing sides, I should say, but the home crowd can lift them a bit, especially against the likes of Egypt and Saudi Arabia. Egypt, to be honest, are a pretty good side, defensively solid, and the attacking lineup led by Mohamed Salah can be an interesting team. So Egypt are pretty strong in that respect. They have a 45-year-old goalkeeper, mind you, who will be taking the field next year in Russia. Saudi Arabia are good, defensively good as well. They are defensively pretty good, but I'm not sure about their attacking sense. So it's going to be an interesting group. Uruguay can go through this group as group winners, but it will be interesting to see who comes second out of the rest three. Coming into Group B, we have Portugal, Spain, Morocco, and Iran. Interesting group again, but I still think Portugal and Spain are good to go in this. Morocco are pretty good defensively. They have a pretty good defensive record in the qualifying campaign in Africa. Iran are good as well. They are a pretty well organized team, but still, Portugal and Spain, you might bet on them to go through, but you might well see Morocco do well in this group as well. Moving into Group C, we have France and Australia, Peru, and Denmark. Interesting group, not due to the 4 teams. France are pretty much very strong in this group, so France might be the group toppers in this, but it will be an interesting battle for the second place. Peru and Denmark are good. Denmark especially are pretty good. They have some good players defensively and on the offensive line as well. Australia, they have good players. They are a well-drilled side, but they tend to underperform in World Cups. I might be a little bit harsh on them because they get tough draws in the group stages in the previous World Cups. They have a chance this time, Peru and Denmark against them, and again France as well. So they could surprise us with something. So it's the Group C stands like that. Moving into Group D, and for me, the group of death, to be honest. It contains Argentina, Iceland, Croatia, and Nigeria. You're never sure of Argentina's quality as a team. Okay, Lionel Messi aside, he can perform and he can rejuvenate this team as well. But you never know the quality of their defensive play and their midfield play, which is not pretty good. So Jorge Sampaoli has to do well to build his team. They have some quality players, to be honest. They have some pretty good midfield and offensive players, good fullbacks. Defense and goalkeeper is an issue, but they can sort that out. The other teams, Iceland, Croatia, and Nigeria, pretty solid teams. Nigeria is a pretty good team. They're a very good tournament team. They tend to do well in the tournaments, despite some problems they have pre-tournaments every time, but they do well in World Cups. Croatia are a pretty solid team. They're a pretty good team in midfield. Their defense is not very good, to be honest, and their goalkeeper is very susceptible as well, but they are a good team. And Iceland, we all know, the least populated country to be playing in the World Cup for the first time next year, are a very good team as well. They had a pretty good Euros. They topped the group in the qualifying campaign, which contained Croatia as well. So it's going to be an interesting group. For me, it's a group of death here. I still can't guarantee Argentina topping this group, and between Iceland, Croatia, and Nigeria, it's going to be a tough one. Iceland might find it a little bit tough. This is their first World Cup, but they have punched above their weights already in the past couple of years, so you can't count them out. Nigeria also, you can't count them out, and Croatia's quality can come up anytime, so you never know about that as well. So it's an interesting group, this. Moving into Group E, and in which they have Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica, and Serbia. You should bank on Brazil winning this group, to be honest. Switzerland lack quality in the forward line. They are a very good side on terms of defense and keeping a good shape, but they lack strikers. They lack striking quality. They lack finishers. They have some good players like Granit Xhaka, Jadon Shaqiri, and Ricardo Rodriguez on the left back, and Lichtsteiner on the right back area. But they lack the striking finish. So they create some good chances as well at times, but they really struggle to finish them. Costa Rica were the group winners last time in the group of death, in which they had Italy, Uruguay, and England to contain. So they were group winners that time. So they will be delighted with this draw, and they will be backing themselves to go past Switzerland and Serbia and join Brazil as the runners-up for this group. But you can't count out Serbia as well. They have some good players. They have some good Premier League experienced players as well. So if you have some good Premier League experienced players, you can count them to do well on the big stage as well. It's going to be an interesting group. Brazil should be group winners in this, but it's going to be a struggle between the rest three. I still think Costa Rica are a good enough side, like last time, to go through, but you never know. Serbia as well can come through as well, and Switzerland, being defensively solid, you never know, can eke out something as well. Moving into Group F, we have Germany, Mexico, Sweden, and Korea Republic. World champions Germany in this group as well. Mexico, a little bit a team under below par at the moment. They really struggled in the qualifying campaigns. They moved to the semi-finals of the Confederations Cup, but they were pretty much outplayed by Germany in that. So they're going to meet Germany again. Sweden are a good side now without Zlatan, I have to say, not in a negative sense, but they are pretty much a team now who can defend and attack as a team. Mind you, they ousted Italy in the qualifying campaign. So you never know Sweden about it now. You can get some good quality football from Sweden as well. And Korea Republic are the Asian giants. We all know about Korea. They can do well. They have a good World Cup record. They can produce some good performances. So you never know about them as well. So it's going to be an interesting group, but you just sense that Germany might top this group, but the second place again is in jeopardy. So there's some interesting groups here. The second place team is not fixed at who is going to finish, and we never know about the group toppers as well. We're just saying. So World Cup can be anything. It's an interesting. That's why World Cup is always an interesting tournament to be a part of, and as well to follow up as well. Moving into Group G now, we have Belgium, Panama, Tunisia, and England. Right, so Panama and Tunisia probably are the underdogs in this group. They're not the greatest side as well. They will be defensively solid against the likes of Belgium and England, but you just should not count out the quality of Belgium and England as well in their attacking play and in their defensive play as well. I'm still backing Belgium and England to win this to go through, but you never know about Tunisia as well. Tunisia are a good side defensively, but they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle with Panama. Belgium and England, you should count them to move through, but there are no easy games, to be honest. There will be no easy games, so the hard work will be there, but still there will be something for both the European teams to go through. And into the last group now of the World Cup, Group H, we have Poland, Senegal, Colombia, and Japan. And for me, this is another group of death, as we have seen in Group D. Poland, Senegal, Colombia, and Japan. All four similar sides. Colombia met Japan 4 years ago in not 4 years ago. For now, they met 3 years ago in Brazil, and they thumped Japan. But you know the quality of Japan. They're a pretty good side. They're a well-drilled side. Colombia, Peckerman, he's a very good manager, and he really drills them hard. They are a pretty good side. They went to the quarterfinals 3 years ago in Brazil. Senegal have some good quality players there. They are the African nations Cup winners, I guess. No, they're not the winners, but they did well in the African Cup of Nations, and so they will be an interesting team. They have a good players like Sadio Mane in the forward line, so they will be good. They're and thereabouts, to be honest. And Poland are a pretty good side. They were the group winners in the qualifying campaign in Europe. They have informed Robert Lewandowski, who scored 16 goals in the qualifying campaign. Now that's a fabulous number to have as a striker in your country. Poland, they are defensively good as well. They have some good crosses of the ball, so Lewandowski will have some good crossing to feed on in the World Cup as well. I'm sure of that. So it's another group of death for me. So Group D and Group H are a group of deaths for me, in my opinion. So it's going to be an interesting group here as well. So that's it from us reviewing all the groups of the FIFA World Cup 2018, going to take place in Russia next year. Do let us know on the comment section of what you think the group of death, and who are the teams who will go through from each group into the knockout stages in the next year's World Cup. So follow SpoBits.com for more articles, podcasts on football and other games as well. And please do like the page of SpoBits on Twitter, and like the page of SpoBits on Facebook as well. Stay tuned on SpoBits.com. Thanks a lot.